For today's cup of coffee, I'd like to discuss what to do if you have the gift of sight or premonitions or what have you, whatever you would like to label that. What do you do with what you see? And that's always been a sort of a moral dilemma because if you see something on somebody, you see their aura or you see something about them or whatever, and they're just randomly walking down the street, do you randomly approach them and say, excuse me, but you've got some kind of really nastiness in your auric field? People will look at you funny. And that has always been a problem. That has always been a problem for me, what to do with what I see. And it's not that I go looking for, I never did. It was not intentional. There have been people that they would find out, when I stopped doing this professionally, it's still out there in the ether, and sooner or later somebody will come and you're going, hey, didn't you used to do you still do? And it's like, I don't know of anybody that is born this way that all of a sudden stops doing. Now you can do things to sort of try to control it or to tampen it down, to make the abilities less active. There's a lot of people that's like, oh, open your third eye and you'll be able to do that. And then what? So you want to see spoopy stuff. And then you begin to see spoopy stuff. And then what? But there are people that have come to me later and it's like, hey, what do you see? And it's like, oh, well, your mom does. Like youngest kids, your mom does. Tell whatever. I would like to know. And it's like, and then they get told, and kid has lost friends. And I hate that for him, because I ask people, it's like, when you ask me, do you really want to know? And I think that's a question that all of us have. If we had the advantage of knowing the future, would that alter the path that we take? And most of us would be, yeah, I don't think I'd make the same decision. But what if it was a matter that path you had to go through whatever you had to go through to get you to wherever God wants you to be? Yeah. So that's the reason I'm entitling this one, To See or Not to See. What do you do with it? And there have been very few times that I have had really negative premonitions or feelings or sensing, whatever it is. That, when I get those, a lot of times that's more for my protection or family members' protection. When I encounter somebody that's got that and I will back off from them or the object or whatever it is. That's, it's body armor for me spiritually, I guess, so that I'm not getting involved with whatever it is. I know to back off. There is some kind of resistance there. On the off chance that I have had people ask me and I did see things, then it was a matter of trying to communicate it in a way that was not going to freak them out. To sit there and go, okay, you might want to go to the doctor and you might want to ask them as far as like your liver enzymes or whatever it is. These are some herbs that you can use. Eat spinach. It's a wonderful blood purifier. It helps rebuild lung tissue. These are the types of things, and try to put that in a language that's not going to place fear on someone, because fear, you're opening yourself up. It reduces your immune system. It lowers your vibrational frequency. That is a thing. It really is a thing. You hear a lot of this in New Age communities and stuff. It's all about frequency, believe it or not. Thoughts have frequencies. Words have frequencies. All these things have frequencies. And it does matter. They're just now trying to catch up with that. Our science, the church of the science, is trying to catch up with what some in the spiritual communities have known for years. So you don't want to put a spirit of fear on somebody if you do see something that's coming their way that can be a challenge, because you don't know what that means in the context of their life or in the context of what God is doing with that individual. You know, and that's where you have to have the gift of discernment. It's like, Lord, okay, I see this. What do you want me to do with this? Put the words in my mouth. And I have had to pray all day long, please, God, put a guard at my mouth. Because we got a moon coming up in Scorpio. And I do not want my words to sting. So these are some of the moral dilemmas that you can get, that I get into. Because I have a Libra rising and I look at all conceivable sides of every issue, which is very much sometimes against my Leo, which wants to just roar right through, and that's not always the correct path to do. And I will tell you this, as far as these doctors, when they will tell people bad news before they've run any test or anything like that, that is the same thing as voodoo. That's putting a spirit of fear on somebody. And it's like if somebody, everybody has seen people call sickness to them. And I don't care what the doctor has said. You can reject that. You can say, they say I have, but whatever. And it's a matter of speaking healing on yourself. But I am healed. By his stripes, I am healed. You know, if you're not Christian, then I'm sure that there are other affirmations and stuff that you can use. So, other people out there that may have the gift of sight or gift of knowledge or whatever, if you've got other ways that you deal with when you're shown something or whether you see something, please share those with me. Because we can learn from each other. It's like, hey, I use this. Have you ever thought about trying this? Yeah. If you've got supernatural, paranormal, UFOs, Bigfoots, if you've had altered states of reality and consciousness with or without substances, send all those things to me. Would love to share your story with everyone. And the email is cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And you all have a beautiful, blessed day.